Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. How can you start to read books in English? Let's talk about it. I recently made a video about 6 books that I recommend reading in English. Well, in this video, I want to give you some tips about how you can read those books. Maybe you've never read a book in English, and there's a couple different techniques for starting to read in another language. So I'd like to present those to you and help you to be on the right path. The first method for reading a book in English is a more active method. Maybe this is one that you've heard before, but you're not sure if it's a good fit for you. So I want to explain it a little bit and let you decide if you think it's good for you. Well, this active method means that as you're reading, if there's a word or an expression that you don't understand, you take your pencil and underline it, or you look it up immediately. You're actively searching for those words or expressions that you don't know in the middle of your reading time. So when I was reading this book in French, The Chronicles of Narnia, I used this method at the beginning. So I underlined some expressions. Here we have en tout cas, which means in any case. I underlined this expression because I didn't know it at the time. So I underlined it, and in my dictionary, I looked up the meaning for this expression. But do you know what? It takes a long time. This method can be useful, especially if a word is repeated a lot and you feel like maybe this is important to the general story. Well, it's good to look up a couple words, but maybe it takes a long time to stop every sentence or every couple sentences and look up a word and then try to remember it and then continue the story. This could take a long time, but if your goal is to really learn every single word, why not? Try it out. A less active way to use this method is to simply underline the words that you don't know, and then after you finish reading the chapter or you finish reading for the day, go back and look them up. This way you're not stopping your reading process, but you're still learning new expressions. As long as they're not so important to the story that you can't understand, this will help you to continue the story without stopping your thoughts. The second method for reading a book in English is not so active, it's an immersive method. And this is what I used after a couple chapters of reading this book. I felt like it took a long time to understand every single expression, and I was so interested in the story that I didn't really care if I didn't understand every word. I wanted to find out what was going to happen. I was immersed in the story. So what I did as I was reading, there are no underlines. There are no notes. I just tried to understand the general concepts. And that's what this method is. The second method is just understanding general concepts. So this is a good method to use if you kind of already know the story. So if you know that this book is about animals and about children and they're kind of in this fantasy world, you know that maybe the word that you think is talking lion actually is talking lion, even if you don't know those words yet. This will give you a general idea of the story. So I hope that this more immersive method is a good way to balance with the first active method. And now I have a question for you. I want to know if you have already read a book in English or even an article or a short story. Which method have you used? Do you underline and look up new expressions immediately, maybe after you finish reading that whole article? Or do you try to understand just general concepts? Which one have you used, or which one are you interested in using? I recommend starting this now, trying to read something, immerse yourself, or try to write each expression and see which style is the best fit for you. Thanks so much for learning with me, and I'll see you the next time. Bye! The next step is to download my free ebook, 5 Steps to Becoming a Confident English Speaker. I want to help you master English and speak fluently. Feel free to subscribe so that you don't miss new English lessons. Thanks so much for learning with me. Bye!